Hello, friends! Welcome to Radical Connections TV. This is Jessie and Irina Kaufman.
Yay, and we're excited to be alive.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Quite literally.
Yeah, we survived our super duper cold weather.
Oh, yeah.
In Florida.
We had like a bone-chilling 32 or 35 degrees, depending on where you're located here.
Yeah.
In Seminole, Florida, which is on the Pinellas Peninsula, close to Tampa, St. Pete.
Yeah.
And boy, if you're used to 70-degree temperatures during the winter and it suddenly hits 35, that's our equivalent of you northerners, you're below zero. So it feels every bit as cold when you're not ready for it. So yeah, some of you might laugh, but it's a real thing. So anyhow, our topic today.
What is our topic today?
It's not about that. Our topic today is, what did I write? Oh, intentions don't produce data. And good intentions, and I would even add toss in there, knowledge does not produce data. Knowledge does not produce results. So what does? It's taking action. So we've covered this topic from a couple different angles already. And so there's been periods in my life where I would have found this relatable. I'm a facts and figures and a knowledge sponge type guy. And, you know, I was single until I was 40. I never had my own successful attempts. And I had a lot of knowledge. You know, if somebody asked me for answers, I always had the answer. And I often had the right answer, the correct answer. But it wasn't working out for me in my life. And it had to do with taking action in the correct areas and with accountability, with a structure, a strategy, and a plan. And creating deadlines for myself. And deadlines can be a trigger word for some people if you come out of a structured religious setting. But the deadlines I speak of are the ones that create freedom instead of bondage. It's like if you create a deadline or a victory marker or a goal, as some would call it, you then have something to aim for and to even hold yourself accountable to. You know, if you don't have a deadline, what are you holding yourself accountable to? You know, it's like,
that's good.
We'll get it done when we get it done, and I'm not sure when.
Which reminds me of you're wearing a shirt that is a result of.
Is this the Spartan Beast? I don't know. Which one is it?
It's Spartan Super.
Oh, it's the Spartan Super. Anyhow, I did a trifecta this year, which is the Spartan Sprint, Super, and the Beast all in one weekend. It's over a marathon distance with over 70 plus physical obstacles. Anyhow, getting back to the topic.
No, you had intention.
Yeah.
And then what did you do to actually go through?
So my intention was to complete a trifecta race.
Which you thought it was kind of a stupid idea or something at first.
I regretted it until I did it. And then I was like, wow, that was fun. I got to do that again.
But you prepared.
Oh, yeah, I did prepare. And I had a goal. I had a whole year to prepare. And I put money on the line. I paid money for tickets, so I don't want to waste my money. So I forced myself into the follow through. I have to. I don't want to waste my money, and I got to get ready, or this race is going to kick my butt if I don't prepare and train for it. And so I had accountability right there. Just simply my declaration to my wife and my dear friends that I'm going to do this. You know. So intentions don't produce data. Until you take action on something, you have nothing to measure your results by. Yeah. In other words, taking action and just, take a shot. You like go out and this might sound foreign to some of you. Have you ever practiced making friends, but doing it for real? When we think practice, we often think, it's cheap and fluffy and flaky, and you're just faking it and it just all canned. But what if you practice making friends for real?
Yeah.
Like practice making friends for life, for real. Like go out there and decide, you know what, today I'm going to go find somebody to connect with and become good friends with. I'm just gonna go bless somebody and just become friends, exchange phone numbers, and stay in touch with them and follow up with them and see how they're doing. And if you do that process with enough people, for no other sake but just to bless them from the bottom of your heart, that's the process of, you know, getting out there, taking action on something. So you have data with which to see how are you doing. Are you getting better at it? And what are some different ways you could, you know, implement to connect with this person or you know, guys or girls, you know, and produce data by having taken action. So inaction produces no data or results.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going in a circle. So I'm going to hand it off to my wife to see if she can bring up the rear and cover some of the things, the holes I might have left behind me.
So I would come from a perspective of a relationship and ask you this question. How many times have you read books, listened to podcasts, and went to different maybe events for singles or relationship events, and you thought, wow, this is amazing. I got so many things out of it. I'm so pumped. Yes, I'm going to get the results now. But you didn't do what that book suggested. You didn't do what that podcast was talking about, or the, you know, an event that you went to, a relationship or class or something, unless you are doing what they're saying. And if they have results, if they have good results and you want those results, then obviously do it. If you don't take action, you're not going to have the results. And we experienced that ourselves in that pursuit of relationship, right? We had so much knowledge, and we felt like, I personally felt like I have knowledge.
We spent like tens of thousands of dollars on spiritual training and leadership training, books, DVDs, CDs, seminars, coaches,
right?
And it wasn't working for us.
Well, and
but
so sometimes what I notice is that knowledge is great, right? But if there's no system attached to how to implement it, then we don't know how to do it. We know the things, but we don't know how to use it, right?
Like how to apply that knowledge.
How to apply that knowledge.
You know, I even had huge portions of the Bible memorized. I have scripture verses all throughout the Bible that I could quote, you know, just off the top of my head as they come to me on an as-needed basis. But again, knowledge applied in the form of taking action on it with a plan is that's the definition. My definition of it, that I believe is wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge applied.
Exactly. So, you know, it's that simple, and it's like that with everything, right? If you purchased a kit of tools to build a house and you don't know how to use them, you're not going to build a house. Same with relationships. If you have a set of tools but you're not using them, you're not going to have that relationship, you know. And or you can have relationships that are just not fulfilling, maybe, you know. I had so many relationships like that. Wow, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like now looking back, I'm like, I don't even know, like they're not here anymore. Somehow they're not here. And I am also the person in the relationship. So what did I do wrong? Or maybe it was just the right season, or now is a different season, right?
There is such a thing as seasonal friends, you know, they're there for that season. And oftentimes when them or yourself is growing and developing at a different pace, you know, a person, you know, kind of floats out of your life. And if you want them in your life, you'll have to like be intentional and chase after them and stay connected. That's, you know, obviously that's up to the individual whether you want to do that or not. Is it a friend that you want to stay connected with? But I was just thinking a little bit about how many couples and singles. This is no judgment on anyone whatsoever. We love you, and we bless you, and we honor your journey. This is just something we've discovered, and it's something that grieves me when I see it, and my heart goes out to you. If this speaks to you and you find yourself to be the humble, coachable, teachable type, we'd be happy to link arms with you and, you know, come alongside you and have a call with you to just discuss more and, you know, strategize how we might be able to enhance your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And like ours was, you know, we were tremendously blessed by our mentor Carlos, who literally came at a juncture in our life where we were like, you know what, I don't know how to find a spouse. I don't know how to connect and get married. You know,
we still have mentors.
Yeah, and we're still getting mentorship in order to have a great marriage. We have an awesome marriage. Have had ever since we've been married. So, but getting back to the point, I've seen so many couples that they're believers. They go to church regularly. They're knowledgeable in all things related to spiritual things and the Bible. And you could ask them questions and they have all the right answers. And it's like they have the answers memorized. It's not going to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's even those that, yes, they do have a deep heart relationship with God, but their lives are in a shamble. Like their lives are a mess. Like their marriage,
they don't have a fruit to show for.
There's no fruit. Like the marriage is a disaster. The children are disconnected and scattered, or maybe they're even divorced. I mean, it's a sad and tragic reality for many people. How you can have one area working for you and then another area is a complete disaster zone. Or singles that want to get married and they've gotten into multiple relationships, dating, which we do not recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and listen to our previous videos if you're wondering what that's all about. And then just go from broken relationship to broken relationship. And it's just like a cycle. And they give up and decide it's better to stay single, or they can't even get into a relationship, period, let alone get married.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know,
mentors,
accountability, and a plan and a strategy with structure that sets you free instead of puts you in bondage. I'm not talking about religious structure that puts you under something. I'm talking about the structure of the Father and kingdom principles that set you free.
Yeah.
And to be you and to express yourself who you really are.
Yeah.
But so my point that I'm trying to make is how you'll know a tree by its fruits.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't say that from a point of condemnation or judgment. Rather, if there's an area of your life where you're not seeing the fruits that you want, just remember this: none of us know what we don't know.
Yeah.
And our ignorance, so the areas that we don't know what we don't know, are the areas where our lives are usually going to be in shambles and a disaster area, or not working as well as they could. And that's the areas where, speaking to myself first, we have to be humble, coachable, teachable, zip it and start asking more questions, and then zip it again and listen and take notes, and start putting the knowledge that you are acquiring onto your calendar. With action steps.
Because a lot of times we don't even know or see in ourselves what we're doing or not doing. That's not getting us where we need to be. And mentors, we discover that personally, that mentors, people that keep you accountable, they see it from the other angle. They see it from the outside of you. And that gets you out much faster and on the right track. So we had to humble ourselves too and say, okay, yeah, we need mentors.
I had to literally lay down all my knowledge. I'd lay down all my answers, put all my answers and my knowledge on the altar, and say for the first time, I have no idea. Teach me.
Yeah.
And I hid my knowledge because I didn't want anyone to perceive me for who I was portraying myself to be as the one with all the answers. Suddenly, I wanted to be the student. I want to learn. I don't know anything. And I turned back into a humble sponge instead of the peacock sitting on the top of a tree branch, you know. And so that's why I got married in 88 days.
Yeah.
As I have it on 6 months from the point of decision where I made in my heart, today is the day. I've had enough. I'm going to make a change. Yeah, so 6 months from that point. I was married, a married man, and have been happily married ever since, because I have stayed in that state of mind. I didn't just do it so as to get married and like, okay, mission accomplished and now relax. No, there's no space for relaxing.
That's right.
Anyhow, I love my wife. If you don't like that, then just don't watch the ending of our videos.
Or beginning of our video.
Bye until next time.
Bye. God bless you.